Okay, so guys, today we have a session, I'm sorry, of exam preparation, and the skill that we're going to practice today will be writing. Okay, so first, I want you to look at this picture and please tell me what do you think? Well, this was like a recent topic that we had in the news of our country, and it was kind of a very like topic to debate, and it brought many opinions, many divided opinions in our cities or uh, the common places. Okay, so I would like for you, each of you, to tell me what do you think, what is your position, and well, yes, what do you think about this? Let's start with Juan Carlos. Please let me know.
Sorry, teacher, I can hear you. Can you repeat again, please?
Yes, I want you to look at the picture. I think when you look at the picture, you already know more or less what is the topic, okay? And you tell me, what do you think about this? What that happened when they put that poster in the Nariño house. What do you think about it? Are you like in favor of that, or you're against that? You are agree or not, and why?
Well, I think it is some kind of advertising for all the Colombians to get to get uh, to get sons, you know. Uh, maybe it fall down uh, this maybe in this generation there is no thinking have two children, so I think that it is a excitement for here in Colombia, and so I think this generation don't want two children.
Okay. Okay, so you say that it's something about the generation, it's something about the like the age of the people now, that they don't want to have children because we have many difficulties, living difficulties in Colombia, right?
Yes, yes, difficult. Yes, for the job, you know, I
Mm-hmm.
people can find out,
Okay, like no jobs, lower payments, right? That's what you mean.
yes,
Mm,
that's
low
correct.
payments. Thank you, Juan Carlos. Okay, Natalia, what do you think?
Teacher, this is topic polemic in the country.
Yes, correct. That's
The government
mhm.
promote
Promoted, yes.
um, don't abortation.
Mm, okay. And
No,
what do you
no.
think? Are you agree or not?
Teacher, I think is a decision for everyone.
Okay, it's a decision for that each person needs to take, right? Like
Yes,
it's an
teacher.
individual decision, right?
Yes, it's my body, my decision, and at uh, each decision trae una consecuencia. How do you say?
Brings a consequence.
Brings
Right.
a consequence. Yes, teacher.
Consequence.
Or
Okay.
an effect, or an effect in your in life.
Uh-huh. Exactly, just
Or
like
positive
the
or yes.
action reaction, right?
Yes, teacher. Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
teacher.
Natalia. Good job. Laura, what do you think about this? What is your position?
Thank you for asking, teacher. Well, I think it's like a really interesting picture because it gives us a lot of perspectives about abortion, having kids. And when I first took a look at it, I had the idea that what the picture wants to have is like this belief that we need to have children because our future generations are really important. You know that nowadays we have a lot of difficulties, a lot of problems in the country. And with other generations, we can probably make a change or make a transformation for the future. But I also agree with my classmates because it's a really a topic that it creates a lot of discussion and sometimes debate. And some people might argue that they don't want to have children because the situation is getting worse, and some people feel like having kids is the best option because of it creates more strength to the family and more opportunities for people to improve their lives. But I might say that it's like a really personal decision that people need to be aware, because when you have kids, you need to have a lot of responsibility, not only for your family, but also for the world and how you are going to educate your kids.
Thank you so much. Good job, Laura. So yes, I'm actually agree with you. When they put this, yes, it felt like they were trying to tell us that it was kind of an obligation to have kids. But as you say, is that's just a personal decision, and we have to take in account like many factors when we like make such an important decision. Thank you. Maria, what do you think about this?
Hello, teacher. I'm I don't know what are you talking about because I joined it a few minutes ago.
Okay, no worries. Well, we are talking about these pictures. So some days ago, we had this big poster in the Nariño house. So in that case, what we were talking is just create a little bit of discussion and tell to our classmates if we agree or not with this. Okay, with this statement that we have in the poster, Salva Colombia Ten Hijos. If you agree with it, why or why not?
Okay. Mm, I think I don't know if I have anything in this in Salva Colombia because well, first of all, the life conditions of some people, some women, and in Colombia is not good. So it's also related with mental health and poor and poor conditions of life.
Correct. Okay, thank you so much, Maria. Well, yes, guys, it was very good everything that you said. I did this why? Because we need to like start thinking. Uh, well, first I explain you. So in the exams, in the writing section, they will ask us to write essays. Okay, so they will give us a situations just as this one, for example, and they will ask us to for us to express writing how we are feeling about it, if we agree or not, giving reasons, examples. So this is an good exercise for us to start like developing our critical thinking, okay? And I like to do this to get to know all the opinions because we can see different perspectives. So in that case, what we did, you saw that I was like writing everything that you tell me, like the main things. And in some cases, I erase some things and like replace them with another ones. Why? Because that's like a better way to say it. Okay, because in these essays, the important thing, one of the important things, is to keep like a formal writing form. Okay, so in this case, we will have like a brainstorming and we will know like new ways to say things. Okay, but uh, first step in this case, in the scenario that they put us in the exam, would be to think about the topic and to like start thinking what is my position. Okay, like I was saying before, critical thinking. Okay, and after that we can start to like thinking about all of these words, which is more formal, what is the better way to say it, all of that. Okay, so what I'm going to show you now is this one. Usually for these essays, we will have it like divided in 4 parts: introduction, supporting paragraph number 1, supporting paragraph number 2, and conclusion. I'm showing you this because this is the most recommendable way to do it. Okay, if you have, like for example, a supporting paragraph 3 with a different idea, you can also add it, but the recommendation is to keep it only with 2 supporting ideas. Okay, I'm going to explain you about each of them. Today we're going to focus on the first 2. We have another session for writing in the exam preparation. I think it's in 2 weeks. If it's possible, please sign up also for that, because in that one we will check supporting paragraph 2 and conclusion. Okay, and in that way we can have our complete essay. Okay, so let's start with introduction. So this is a recommendation also, the number of words. It doesn't have to be exactly those words, no, but well, that's a recommendation to complete with the average amount of words that they ask us on this kind of exams, okay? More than that, I will think it will be more important the like little sections that they have, that each of them have. Like for example, introduction, paraphrase, tags, state opinion, and essay overview. Each section, introduction, supporting paragraph 1, 2, and conclusion, they need to have all of these like subtopics, okay, subsections. If we miss one, that might give us a point down in the writing section. Okay, so it's very important to have them in account. So for introduction, we have paraphrase tags. So usually we will have in the questions a situation, like for example, like I put it here. In this case, I put it as a picture to make it easier, but also most of the times they will put it as in context. So for example, in this case, they will tell us, 2 weeks ago, the Casa of Nariño put this poster for the Colombians to start to get pregnant, for example. And then they will make a question. Are you agree with this? Yes, no, and why? That's an example, because in this kind of exams, the context and the question will be a little bit more complicated. I mean, you will have more words, more technical words, all of that. But that's an example. They will put you always in context, and then they will give you a question. So in that case, That's what we need to have in account when we are in the subsection paraphrase tax. Because in that one, we will need to say, okay, like for example, the question that we have here, how can government in the world increase the birth rates globally? We can refer to this, but that's the reason it says paraphrase. We cannot put this exactly. I cannot say governments in the world can increase the birth rates globally by. No, we cannot do that because that will give us a point out down. We need to paraphrase. What is paraphrase? To put this in different words. So for example, for this, I could say, the governments could increase the global birth rates by. You see, what I did was like kind of paraphrasing, taking the words and put them in different order. But I didn't put this exactly because that would give me a point down. Okay, so that's paraphrasing. And then you will need to give your opinion. I think that is not good because. And that's when it comes the essay overview. So for the essay overview, you will need to give your opinion, like your position. I am not agree because I think in Colombia there are not the enough life conditions to get pregnant, for example. So there you're stating your idea, your like position. You're saying you're not agree, and you're saying like a general idea on why. That's our introduction paragraph. Okay, and then supporting paragraph 1. As I was telling you, they always ask us at least 2. So in this case, you need to give us 2 reasons, okay, related to this, because you already say that life conditions in Colombia are not good. So that's the reason you're not agree. Now you need to deep on this in the paragraph 1 and 2. So you need to say 2 reasons on why you think the life conditions in Colombia are not good right now. For example, paragraph 1, life conditions in Colombia are not good right now because there are many unemployed people. That's your idea number 1. In the idea number 2, you can put another thing like there are no jobs. I'm sorry, did I say low jobs before? Hello, guys.
Yes, yes, miss.
Okay. Well, in this case, let's put as a first idea, no jobs and low payments. So life conditions in Colombia are not good because there are many unemployed people and there are low payments. As a second idea, we could bring the mental health, okay? Because that's something different of the first one, and it will also refer to the life conditions in Colombia. For example, okay, this is an example. Again, for the supporting paragraph, we need to state the position. So there are no jobs and we have very low payments. Explain why. We can see that because there is poorness in most of the population, and give an example. Like, for example, in the Guajira region, there are many poorness. As we can see, many children are in very difficult conditions. Okay, so you're stating your position. You're saying you are not agree because there are no jobs. Explaining why, you are saying that there are poorness, and give an example. You're giving an example of that poorness that you said before with the children in the Guajira region. Okay, and after that, you summarize the paragraph. So basically, you give a little summary of the three things that you already said to close that paragraph. Okay, we're going to watch, to check supporting paragraph number 2 and also the conclusion next on within 2 weeks. However, we're going to see them very quick. So for the supporting paragraph, is the same of the supporting paragraph number 1. However, you will need to say something different, right? So as I was telling you, mental health. So in that case, you can refer to mental health. Mental health is also very important, and it's something that we don't have in Colombia. Explain why. There are many people that is not good mentally. Give an example. You can refer to any situation in Colombia that is happening right now that reflects that mental health situation, and then summarize the paragraph. As a conclusion, you will need to summarize the whole essay. So here, the best option for you is for you to paraphrase your main opinion, the one that you gave in the introduction. I am not agree because of the lives and conditions in Colombia are not they are not good. And a final thought. Okay, that's the reason I think it would be better to improve the life conditions by giving more education, by giving more help, by whatever. Okay, but that would be a final thought to close the whole essay. We're going to deep in supporting paragraph number 2 and conclusion in the next class. Okay, guys. Questions so far? Okay. So here in the right side, I have some little sentences. I put them here because those are the ones that are most common use in this kind of essays. Okay. So in this case, to state your opinion or your position, like for paragraph number 1 and 2 or the introduction, you can put, I think, in my opinion, or from my point of view. You say that we have in each paragraph, we have to like give a point of view, like give our opinions. So in this case, that's the reason it is necessary to have these ways and even more than that in account, because it's not good that we repeat. Like, for example, it's not good that in the introduction I say, I think people in Colombia should not have children. And in the supporting paragraphs, I think the life conditions in Colombia are not good. And then in the conclusion again. So I think that no, that's repetition, and that's not very good seen in this kind of essays. So in this case, it's important for us to take in account, again, paraphrasing sentences. So basically here, we're saying the same in these 3 parts, but we are paraphrasing. We're saying it in different words, okay? These 3 can work for the supporting paragraph 1 and supporting paragraph 2. So when you give your first reason, your first position, your first opinion, you can say firstly. So firstly, I think that the work conditions in Colombia are not good enough. Okay, you develop your idea, and when you go to the supporting paragraph 2, you can say second, because that's your second reason. I think the mental health in Colombia is also a topic that needs to be reviewed. Okay. For the second supporting paragraph, you can see. You can do also on the other hand. In this one, it's more for contrast. Okay. When you give an opinion in the paragraph 1, that is different to the opinion that is the opposite better to the opinion in the paragraph 2. Okay, like to make the difference. These ones here, it's for give the examples. As you see in each supporting paragraph, we need to give examples. So we can do, for example, if we don't want to repeat in the supporting paragraph 2, we can do, for instance. That is basically the same as we say, for example. Or a good illustration of that could be the poorness that we have in the Guajira region, for example. Or situations such as there is many unemployed people in Colombia right now. Okay? This one is to give the examples. And this one is to conclude. That will be in the last paragraph, sorry. In conclusion, to conclude, or in summary. In summary, that means en resumen. So in summary, you will summarize all what you already say in your this. Okay? Questions so far, guys?
Excuse me, teacher, could you repeat?
Do you have any questions or something you want to add?
Teacher, in the part the right, the list is a connector. Yes, right?
Yes, these ones are like sentences that you can use in your essay. Okay, in each section. I'm sorry. So in this is for like give your opinion. This will work for supporting paragraph 1 and 2. This is when you want to give an example, and this is for conclude the essay. Okay.
Okay, teacher. I say the test is subjective. It's more subjective. And objective in
Yes, this is for you to have like a guide for write the essay. Okay. Of course, these are not the only ones. Okay, we have others that you can check. Like in internet, we have a lot of recommendation, but these ones are like the most common ones.
okay, teacher, is that tips.
Yes, exactly. They're like tips that you can use. It doesn't mean that you always need to use this. For example, no. It's something that I am recommending you. It's something that we usually do. That we usually see on the essays that you can use. Okay.
Yes, teacher, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. So, Juan Carlos, can you please help me to read this question?
Yes, Miss Lina. So, do you think eating while driving should be prohibited, and why?
Thank you. Okay, so guys, do you think that eating while you're driving in your car should be prohibited? Yes or no? What if I want a burger and I want to eat while I am driving in a in a big road? Do you think that should be prohibited or not? Because right now it is allowed. I mean, I don't know if I don't think there's a law that says that we cannot eat while we were driving. But what do you think? It should be prohibited or not?
Mm,
Guys.
It means I think eating while driving should be prohibited because it distracts the drivers and can cause accidents.
Okay. Something else? Or someone else? Do you have any reason on what it should not be prohibited? Or we are all agree? Laura, go ahead.
Thank you, teacher. Well, I think that it should be prohibited because when a person is eating, it can cause a lot of problems, not for the person's life, but also for other people's lives. Because if there is a person that is in the middle of the road and this other person is driving while eating, there is a big probability that the other person's life is going to be at risk because the other person is probably going to hit him. So that would be something that everybody needs to take care when they are driving.
Okay, thank you. Someone else? Okay, so let's speak with
Me,
the.
teacher.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Maria.
Me, teacher. In my opinion, the persons shouldn't eat while they are driving because and it will be and it should be prohibited 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 because it can affect other people's life and 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 do that can affect affect how I say that the death of other people and also eat while the people are eat while we are driving is like disgusting.
Okay, disgusting. You don't like it. Okay, thank you, guys. So I think we're all agree that it should be prohibited. Okay, so I'm going to put it through here. This. Okay. So good job. Thank you. Now we already have a position, right? It should be prohibited. Now, what we will need to do is to focus and find two reasons to like support our prohibition, our opinion that it should be prohibited. Okay, so in this case, I think the most the better option would be that it causes accidents. Okay, when it causes accidents, it can affect other people. It could create affectations on the roads, and well, it is also disgusting. So in this case, what we will do it together, is to make the introduction and give one reason. Okay, we're going to focus on that. So for the introduction, what is the first thing that we will need to write? Do you remember?
In my opinion,
Okay, that's a good
I
start.
think
In my opinion, what's the first subsection that we need to do?
paraphrase
Good job.
the question.
Paraphrase the task or the question, in this case, the question. So good starter, in my opinion, The drivers, I'm going to give an example. Should not eat while driving. Okay, so in that case, we already stated that this is our position because it's my opinion, and we already say that we think that it should be prohibited, that is not good to drive while eating. Okay, in my opinion, the driver should not eat while driving. That's our paraphrase start. So next, say the opinion. It should be prohibited or not. What we did decide.
Prohibit.
Prohibit. So in my opinion, the driver should not eat while driver. And what do you think you can state? We could add and
The connector?
it should be prohibited because we already stated before that that's not good. I mean that they shouldn't do that. Okay, in my opinion, the driver should not eat while driving and it should be prohibited. That's our position. Next, essay overview. What is our overview? What is the main reason that we think they shouldn't eat while driving?
Teacher, the connector from the view, yes? I don't see the connector.
Where?
In the before slide.
Ah, okay, in this one.
Yes, okay. From my point of view,
Well, in this case, we already did that because here, instead of from my point of view, we put in my opinion. We already started. But remember, we need to give an overview of the reason of our position. Okay, so we already paraphrase, that is this, paraphrasing. We already gave our position, it should be prohibited, and now we need to give an essay overview. So like summarize a little bit why we think that shouldn't happen. So remember that we say
teacher,
it
like
causes
we can
accidents.
say,
yes, teacher cause accidents.
Okay,
I say, yeah,
so
from a view from the
like we
connector,
can say,
driver or
For a view, eating while driving should be prohibited.
we could just say, in my opinion, the driver should
like
not
it's
eat
very
while
dangerous.
Exactly, that's very good. It might be very dangerous. Okay,
Dangerous.
in my opinion, the
Exactly.
driver should not eat while driving, and it should be prohibited. That here we can put because it might be very dangerous, or we can also put the main idea because it might cause accidents. So we already paraphrase. We already gave our position and we already gave an overview. So here, the person who is reading the essay will know that we think this should be prohibited because we think eating while driving cause accidents. Okay, that's like our main big idea of the essay. Now, in the paragraph number 1 and in the paragraph number 2, what we need to do is to give 2 reasons or to dig and deep a little bit more in this cause accidents, and explain them. Okay? So here is what where enters maybe this one, distraction, because food can be a distraction when I am driving. So let's use that one, the distraction, to make our paragraph number 1. Okay, so paragraph number 1, state a position. So our position, which is our position in a paragraph number 1?
Distracts.
Distractions,
Introduction.
correct.
Okay.
So now we see here the recommendations. How do you think we can start that paragraph?
Firstly,
So firstly, this is only an example, okay, guys? Because you can also put first, again, on my opinion, I think, from my point of view, anything. This is only a suggestion. So firstly, how we can say the distractions, how we can enter there the distraction. Give me opinions.
Maybe eating in the way cause distraction or
Okay.
so also distraction.
So firstly, eating in the way. Here, the best option is to put in the road because we're going through the road through the with the car. Okay, eating in the road. And here we need to put this one. Okay. In Spanish it would be puede causar o es posible. Okay. So firstly, eating in the road might cause distractions. Good. Explain why. Why it can cause distractions. When you are eating in the car, what do you need to do?
cause distractions because you can pay attention to all your way.
Okay, let's check. So firstly, eating in the road might cause distractions because you cannot pay, like, let's put fully attention, like complete attention to your way. Good job. And now let's give an example. Here we have the example ones. How we can start?
Is such as discussion.
Such as, okay. Well, in this case, this such as is like for when you are going to make a list of things. Like, for example, you cannot pay fully attention to your way, or here, like, for example, cause distractions. No. When you want to list things, let's put it here so you can understand better that such as. This is when you make a list of things. Like, for example, I'm going to get out a little bit of the topic of the essay just for you to understand. There are many foods in Colombia, such as ajiaco, bandeja paisa, arepa. This one is for food examples, but when you're making like a list, okay? When you're naming different things, okay? So in this case, since we're going to put a situation, it will not work very good. So in that case, we can choose either for instance or for example. Also this one even, a good illustration. Which one do you want? You want, for example, for instance, a good illustration.
For example, or
Okay.
a good illustration.
Okay, a good illustration of that, and we give an example. So, what do you think it will be a good example for that? For example, let's put this situation. This guy is driving and he has a hamburger, but the hamburger is, it has the envolture still. So what he needs to do? He needs to lift he needs to lift the, I forgot how to say it. El timón, pues, la... Dime.
Teacher, excuse me, for example, bad combination, the hamburger and fast velocity.
Yes, but here we need to focus on the distractions. Remember, don't go far from the topic that you're talking about. So a distraction is that he has the hamburger, but he needs to tear down the envolture of the hamburger. So what he needs to do? He needs to use both of his hands, and also he needs to look at the hamburger. So what he's doing? He's distracting for his task, that is, it should be driving. So he's not looking at the front anymore, and probably he's also not holding the car anymore. So that's a distraction. Okay, so a good illustration of that is that driver needs to look at the meal while, or the food, while he is opening. Okay, so that's a distraction because he shouldn't be opening his food. He should be looking at the front and driving the car. And when he's eating, he's distracted. Okay, so here we put the reason, we put why we put that reason, and then an example. Okay, at the end, we summarize the paragraph. So in this case, to avoid these distractions, driver should not eat while driving, for example. Okay. And we already have our second paragraph. Our second paragraph. This is the idea number one. So if you go step by step, you will have your essay. Okay. Sometimes when we say, I need to write an essay, you need to do 4 paragraphs or 200 words and things like that. Or that happens to me. I think it's very hard and I need to think a lot and all of that. But in this case, with these sections and subsections that we have, it's very easy because you know what you need to write, the order of it, and also you have these examples that will help you a lot. Okay, so guys, we are almost done. However, I recommend you to attend to the other writing session For that writing session, what we're going to do is to go through supporting paragraph 2 and conclusion, and then we're going to write our own essay. For that, I would like, in case that you are attend, that you think about this. Okay? Coming back to the first picture, to the first topic, we're going to think about this. We already have the context, that is that Colombia government put this for all of the Colombians to see it and think about it. And now we have the question. How can governments in the world increase the birth rates globally? So you need to answer that question. You need to think about an introduction, 2 reasons that it will be our supporting paragraph number 1 and supporting paragraph number 2, and then a conclusion. So think about that, and if you come to the next session, to the next writing session, we're going to go over this. Before you go, guys, do you have any questions, anything you want to add, something that you want to review?
No, teacher, everything is okay.
Okay, so Laura, go ahead.
Teacher, I would like to thank you for this valuable lesson. I enjoyed and learned a lot from you because there are moments where I had like some struggles to understand the structure of the text. But with today's class, I had a better understanding, and I would like to thank you so much for the class.
You're very welcome. I really enjoyed giving it, and I'm very happy that you enjoy it. I put the attendance link in the case you need to fill it up. With that will be enough. Your teachers will know that you're here, that you were here, and well, super invite for the next writing session or even any other class. Thank you for coming, guys.
Thank you so much, teacher. See you later.
You're welcome. Bye.
Thank you so